Well, yesterday I was writing out our Stovies recipe. Stovies is a recipe that was handed down through our family. I'm sure other families in Scotland use it too. It was a way of making ingredients go a long way, because we had, my grand's family has 17 children, so they had to really stretch stuff. So this, I've written the recipe out in pencil, and then I thought, well, I'll just double check it. So these are, I've got my ingredients here. So 2 standard onions, about 185 grams of streaky bacon. It's not an expensive one, it's a cheap one. And 7 mid-sized potatoes, peeled and roughly, you can see, really roughly chopped. They're not cubed perfectly. I think if some of them are bigger and smaller, as they break down, you get a bit more texture in it. So it's as simple as this. You tip potatoes in. Onions, you can see how they've been chopped up very roughly. They go in. Streaky bacon. Now, I'm not separating all these bits because they naturally separate anyway. They go in. Just get your hand in, just give it a bit of a, so it all goes in. Now I'm using pink salt, but I'm not using too much of this initially. Actually, I should have washed my hands then, but hang on 2 seconds. I'm not using too much of this initially because streaky bacon is smoked streaky bacon, which is what I've used. It's quite salty, so I'm going to go for just a few turns initially, maybe 4.
If you haven't got pink salt.
Yeah, if you haven't got pink salt, as Davin's going, if you haven't got pink salt, standard salt, fine, sea salt. Now pepper, 5, 6, 7. This dish, 9, 10, 11, 12, we'll say 13 turns, because the whole thing of this is it's quite peppery and warming for the winter. I've got a jug of water. I don't know how much is in there, but the main thing is just, I need a little bit more, is just to cover it. Because what will happen is, that's it. So if I just show you that out of the way, there we are. There's not a lot of excess. It's just under the surface of all the ingredients. And then that goes on to simmer, and I'll let you know after how long it simmers for, because I can't remember, but really it's almost like a mash without butter. So you want it all to mash down, and it's quite a watery, not like soup, it's between mash and soup, I suppose. It tastes great, and you just serve it in a bowl. So this is as it is at this stage. Then when the next stage are refilm, and you can see what it looks like cooked. Right, this has been on 10 minutes now. This is the Stovies, and you can see everything's boiling down. Some of the water's going, bits are starting to mush up. So I would say maybe another 20 minutes, but I'll let you know how long it takes in total. You can just see, it smells fantastic. So I haven't tasted it yet, so I'm just going to leave it there to do its thing. Right, this is another 10 minutes on, and I've had a taste. Now what I did, I drained a cup of liquid off it. I've just put the ladle in, sunk it in, and taken some of the liquid off, because it's very hard to judge the liquid, because sometimes it depends on the potato and how much liquid comes out of that. So I've had a taste, always have a taste, and I reckon I could do with about 4 turns of salt, and I just mix that in. And as you can see, this is nearly the consistency it should be at. So it was a little bit watery before, and I just took some of the liquid off and put it in to something else. So that's where we are. So it's not soup, and it's not mash, you can see. So that, I would say that needs another 5-10 minutes, and I'll show you the consistency in a bowl when it's finished. So that's Stovies, about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes away from being done. Okay, so the Stovies has been boiling away, not hard boiling, but just simmering away. Got it to the boil, simmered, and for about 25 minutes, half an hour. And this is the consistency. I've added 3 turns of salt and a little bit more pepper, so you can see that's what you're going for. There we are. And it's like I say, it's between a mash and a soup. You've probably got enough there for a good 4 or 5 helpings. Really nice. When we were kids, we used to have it with bread and butter and make sandwiches from it, which now sounds really unhealthy, like carbs. Yeah, carbs on top of carbs. But when you're younger, you don't care. You're out playing all day, just doing what you do. Come in, grab a hot bowl, and off you go again. So you're probably burning off twice that. But this is good Scottish comfort food, made cheaply. Probably, you know, it's not like a main beautiful meal you'd serve to friends or whatever, but for the family, good to put in a bowl. I didn't have a nice bowl, so I put it in an overly big bowl that's chipped actually. I'll move that chip round. So there we are, Stovies.